I'm past the point of laughter at this point. I literally have nothing to say. Well, except the fact I obviously do have something to say because I'm obviously talking to you guys in front of a camera and just talking random rubbish for about 5 minutes or however the hell long this video is going to be. I honestly don't. I'm just repeating myself over and over and over again. That's been up there one of the worst experiences I've had at the stadium. And believe me, even in the 5 years I've been into football, there's been a good few contenders for that accolade. You're talking Hull at home, QPR at home, Villa at home, Palace at home, just purely for the way we lost that game. Arsenal at home, even though that's a team that we should be losing to, really. The fact that it's the manner in which we lose these games. And I'm getting rather tired of seeing the same mental fragility crop up not every game, that's a bit harsh, but majority, some games that we clearly see them. You look at Burnley and Swansea and what is it, Stoke as prime examples. Games where we've been in the game, then as soon as we go behind, heads drop, and that's it. It's done. There's no hope, no optimism of getting back into the game whatsoever. Even when we scored, I just stood with my arms folded and didn't celebrate because I just thought, what's the point? What's the point? They're not going to get back in the game. We know they're not going to get back in the game, and they just keep delivering false hope repeatedly. So what's the point in getting excited? And the sad thing is, we're all suckers for it. We all keep doing it. I'll tell you what, though, that stadium, the fact that it was probably still about 3/4 full, if not 4/5 full, at 3-0 down, that speaks volumes to me about our fan base. And they had every right to walk out at 3-0 because that was disgraceful. The Euro cliches, pathetic, disgraceful, a disgusting performance. It's stuff that I've pretty much heard, and I've heard it plenty of times. I've heard it plenty of times before, many times before. I've said it many times myself before. I'm just repeating myself. There's nothing there to get optimistic about whatsoever. Obviously, results. In a week's time, we could somehow, if Burnley and West Brom are both on drugs, we could knock Burnley out of the FA Cup and go and win at the Hawthorns. Seeing as Stoke got to end their Stadium of Light hoodoo today, or whenever you're watching this video, basically recently, should we then be able to go to West Brom and do the same? Obviously, football doesn't work like that. We all know it, but come on. We're good at ending other people's bad runs. Now can someone actually be kind enough to end us? And the sad thing is, going into this game, we had half a hope of optimism because our home form going into this game was good as what you would be if if it's good it would be for Sunderland. As in only losing to Chelsea, who are obviously top of the table, one of the probably at the minute the best performing team in the league. Even though I think Spurs are giving them a run for their money, like bloody hell, we're playing Spurs at the end of the month. How we're going to get anything out of that, I don't know. Any Spurs fans watching this, if you don't beat us 5-6-0, there's something the matter with you. But like I said, but Chelsea was the only game that we lost at home for the last 2.5 months now. Well, 2 months more or less going into this game. So we, and this was, and although Stoke are no mugs, don't get us wrong, Stoke are no mugs. They're a good side, I think. It's still a winnable fixture. That's the annoying thing. And what made it worse in some respects, although the points gap's still the same, Hull beat Bournemouth, which I thought they would. I'm just stunned. I'm just, you've gone past the point of being. I've gone past the point. Well, I am angry still, but I've gone past the point of ranting and raving. I've gone past the point of laughing at it. I'm just meh. I'm just there, and it's such a shame to say that the football spoils me weekend. It absolutely wrecks me weekend, and just. And trust me, there are plenty of other bigger Sunderland fans than me and way better Sunderland fans than me. Ones that go to every away game and every home game. They are the true Sunderland fans. Truest. Many Sunderland fans are true, obviously, but they're the ones that spend the most money on the club. And I wonder where on earth they get the money from. I wonder why they keep going. And fair play, loyal supporters, absolutely loyal supporters. I'm not the most loyal fan, but I'm still a huge fan of Sunderland. I've still invested a majority of me. I was still invested a good portion of my money into that club. So, and I'll continue to do so. But there comes a point where you've got to get something back. There comes a point where, and I don't mean to sound like, oh, I'm not going to come back until they start improving. I just feel that again, I'm repeating myself. The stuff I've said before about underachieving and all this, and I still stand by that. I still believe, and I'll continue to say it until something's actually done about it. Sunderland as a club, I do believe, underachieve. I feel like we should be in a much better position than where we are. But, I'm just at the point where I can't take much of it. I feel detached from my club at the minute. I'm not going to blame the owner anymore. I've gone past the point of blaming the owner because I do have some leniency with Ellis Short. I still want him to sell, but I can appreciate that, he is in a difficult position himself because I bet he doesn't thrill him seeing this. Everyone knows by now I don't think Moyes is the problem, and I stand by that opinion and will continue to stand by that opinion, so no point trying to change it. Moyes isn't the problem, and I hope he stays for the long term, even in the Championship, which it looks like we probably will be in next season. And this is the thing, although opinions in football can change from week to week to week to week, it can change. By tomorrow, by next week, it could all be rosy. But even if we somehow win against Burnley and West Brom, and that says a lot, by the way, when we are going to a game against Burnley, saying somehow, if we somehow win, that says a lot. No disrespect to Burnley, of course, I have huge respect for them, but come on, 11 points behind them. It's pathetic from our perspective. But fair play, they won't go down. And I said, as soon as they beat us, this team will definitely stay up. Because they've got enough fight, enough heart, enough determination to see out games at home. Their away form might be poor, but trust me, Burnley, you will not go all season without winning an away game. There. That stadium is where you'll get your first away win. I promise you that. I'm just done. I'm not done actually because I'm going to go back to it. Obviously, I'm going to have hope, but the gap's only 1 point. But in some ways, it's made it worse because it's a slap in the face. This was such a missed opportunity today. Even if we just got a draw I don't think would have been a great result, but at the very least, we would have got level on points with Palace. We wouldn't have gone above them because our goal difference is way worse than Palace's, I think. But we could have got level on points with Palace, and it would have at least been a starting point. It would have at least been another point towards trying to get safety, another point at home. And now it just feels any shred of optimism. I mean, even after the Liverpool game where we really put up a fight and showed what we can do, we're not going to sustain that every game. And it's the first time I've got to admit this starting 11 probably isn't good enough. And I've said in previous seasons, and my argument for saying the team is good enough is because it proves at the end of every season it's good enough. This time, though, previous seasons we had the hope of being able to spend money and strengthen. This time, there's nothing. We can't, and even if we somehow win the next two games, we can't afford. We shouldn't be going to West Brom saying a Sunderland win is an upset. It's not. We should be able to beat West Brom, but even if we win, we can't spend anything unless we sell high earners. And even then, would a team want to come here? I'd like to hope they'd look at the table and say, well, there's only 1 point in it. There's 1 point separating in the bottom 4 teams, 5 points separating in the bottom 5. But there's nothing. There's just nothing. The goals we conceded today. the first one annoyed me the most because we had a couple of opportunities to clear with that and deal it properly, and we didn't do it. Left Benoni come. I know he didn't cover himself in glory for the third goal, but he was completely exposed for the first one. And the second one, to be fair, from Stoke was a good passing movement leading up to it, but it was pathetic the way we were cut open. Absolutely pathetic. And obviously the third one, Benoni should have done better. But Crouch is big and physical. But again, where was the preparation going into this game? We knew Stoke's tactic was going to be lump the ball forward to Crouch, keep the ball. We knew that if we tried to lump it forward, it wasn't going to work. But in fact, Stoke were forcing us to do that. So that's good game management from their perspective. I'm just... And then our goal, like I said before, I just didn't cheer it. There was no point. No point. So it makes me wonder now, should we not just sell, if we're going to go down, which looks like we're going to, should we not just sell Defoe and just get money then anyway? My hopes, I know it sounds stupid to say hopes extinguished. Of course it could change, but at the minute, I just don't feel there's any. It's a slap in the face. And this is what I mean. When I say underachieving, I mean being able to beat teams like Stoke at home. This is a winnable home fixture, and we should be winning it. Stoke have been in the Premier League less than us in recent years. They shouldn't be coming up here and helping themselves. And no team should be, really. I'm tired of people viewing the stadium like it's an easy place to go to, and it shouldn't be. I might just leave it there, guys. There's nothing more. I can't add anything that any other Sunderland fan hasn't said, and they've probably said it in a more adequate way than I've just said it. But yeah, I love you and leave you there, guys. Thanks again for watching me just moan for about 10 minutes. I can't add any more. Well, at least teams like Burton Albion will be class next season. And I think the away days in the Championship would be good. But even if we stay up, I mean, the home games would be really atrocious in terms of attendances. But even then, if we stay up this season, this season could very well be the final straw for a lot of fans. Because when fans got their season tickets for this season, it was with the promise of Sam Allardyce and the prospect of actually not underperforming in a Premier League season and actually being comfortably in mid-table. And it sounds simplistic, but that's what we want. It annoys me when teams like West Ham and Stoke, for example, if their fans have the audacity to complain at that. You have no idea what we'd give for that. Trust me, you're not in a bad situation compared to ours. But anyway, I mean, this season very well could be the final straw for a lot of supporters because we keep seeing no signs of progression on the pitch, and it seems like the club at the minute is just happy to finish fourth bottom every season. Well, I'm not, but even then, I'd snap your hand off for 17th now. Right, just see us later, guys. Just don't bother. I can't be bothered anymore. So, bye.